Hello, Aries, and welcome to your 2016 yearly tarot card read. My name is Dee, and this is my dear friend Lucy.
Hello.
Lucy and I are going to continue doing this together. We're working together really well, and we've got a lot of good positive response, and it makes it nice for both of us to be able to do this together. So before we begin, we usually draw an oracle card for a read, and we usually reveal at the end, but you guys kind of have too. And we're going to start you off with this, and this is about seeing the signs. And I think for the whole year of 2016 for you guys, you need to see the signs. There's going to be signs in the nature around you. There's going to be signs, like say you get up at 333 every morning for a couple days. There's something in the signs that are going to be revealed to you that are going to show you things that you need to know this year. And it'll come at pivotal moments in your life. So just kind of be aware. Let your intuition kind of guide you when it comes to these things, because I really feel this year is going to be big for you. We've gotten this card for a couple other reads. We've been told to see the signs. So I think this year's coming up has got a lot of things that we'll be able to kind of predict and see if we watch the signs. So Lucy pulls a card, I pull a card, and then we read her card, we read my card, and then we read them together. And then we have an oracle card for you that we'll use at the end too. So we're going to go ahead and start with January. Lucy pulled
The Chariot. Now this is a card of movement. However, as you can see, the lady that is supposed to be controlling this chariot is not paying attention to the path ahead. So right now it's not moving. But this is a very positive card. It indicates triumph with effort. There's a great deal of potential with it. Just so long as you pay attention and you focus and you persevere in what you are doing, you will succeed. Okay?
So if you watched the monthly one that you guys had for December, you guys ended off with death, and I think it was the Five of Swords, which is kind of not the best way to end the month, which talks about something dying or a situation dying off or something like that going on. So you guys had some heavy energy that you got at the end of the month. So I pulled the Four of Swords, which will take you into January. And I think that you need this time to take a rest, because you've had a lot of changes and a lot of stuff happened the last week of December. So take your time to take a rest, respite, just kind of pause and what's going on in your life and take care of you for a little bit. Now, if you combine this with this energy here with the Chariot talks about forward motion. So I really truly believe that there's going to be forward motion even after everything that happened to you guys. And this is bringing the two opposing factors together so that you guys can move forward. And you'll be able to do that. Take your rest, and that way you'll be prepared and ready and watching the road like she's not. And be ready for the changes that are going to be happening around you. And it's going to be moving. It'll move fast for you in the month of January.
Focus and self-discipline.
Right. So the month of February, Lucy pulled.
In February, I got the Seven of Wands, which is, as you can see, the man is guarding here, so he's been challenged. It's a challenge to your beliefs and your ideas. So all you need to do is to stand firm in your beliefs, calm reassurance and confidence, and you'll be victorious. Okay?
So for the month of February, with it being Valentine's Day for those of us that do celebrate, I received the Lovers. Now, the Lovers isn't just about relationships, so even though that is the driving force behind it, it can be about emotional decisions. It can be love versus work. It could be career versus relationships, any of that kind of stuff. So I really feel that for this month, you're going to have a lot of focus on love and your relationships and what's going on. For some of you, it might even be the start of a new relationship, which might bring you further into the future. So keep that in mind. But if you combine the two cards, which I think is kind of interesting, I almost see like this guy's up against something and he's getting defensive and it's causing problems for his relationships around him, but he's having to defend what he's got. And I think that there's going to be some quarrels and some disagreements going on in significant relationships for you guys this month. But be aware, don't let your guard get so far up that you can't appreciate each other, and don't let this become a bickering point. stand your ground for what you believe in, but you don't have to be mean about it.
No.
Be that loving person and be kind to those people around you that you care about. So for the month of March, Lucy received
The World. Now, the world is all about union in all things, success, victory, oneness, harmony in all your states. But you get to the world by doing the work needed and learning your lessons, okay? So this is a very positive card. You're going to find union in inner and outer realms of your life.
So for the month of March, I pulled the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups, of course, is about emotions. It's talking about contentment. It's talking about having that fulfillment, goals reached, all those good things of an emotional nature, which I think that's phenomenal after what you guys had happen the month before and some stuff going on. So maybe people did listen and were able to move to this. But what I think is neat when you put the two of them together, you've not only got the world in your emotional life, but you've got the world all the way around. This is a very good month for you guys. You'll have literally the world in your hand. You'll be able to determine what's going on. And this is the end of cycles for some of you, but there's going to be new beginnings, and it's going to be on a positive note. So keep that in mind. You've got the world in your hand. You've got family and contentment and love, and it's going to be a really good month for you guys. So for the month of April, Lucy pulled
the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is all about cutting through illusions to see things as they really are, okay? So you can move forward. Now, you may have feelings of loss around this situation because it is an ending, but it's also a beginning, okay?
So for the month of April, I pulled the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords usually is about emotional betrayal. It can be losses. It's mostly your emotions, even though swords are not an emotional card. It talks about emotions and feeling like things are overwhelming you. And it could be a threesome, and it could be where you just feel stabbed in the heart. And when you combine this energy with this here, after coming from the really good month before, you're coming to this, I really feel that for some of you, there might even be a love triangle going on, and you might feel like everything's at your back. But this just tells you to take some time to get out of the situation. You don't have to be under these swords, and you don't have to be a part of this. So it all comes down to decisions that you make. And I just really feel like just don't let your logic and reason color you to where you're just seeing the negative all the time. Just go ahead and try and find the positive in things, because even though all this is going on, the sun is shining behind it. You can kind of see that there's a light behind it.
They're the swords of truth, so you're seeing through the illusions of the situation.
Yeah.
And you're finding release from this, so you can go to a new path.
Right. Okay. So for the month of May, Lucy received
the month of May, I got the Page of Cups. This is about happy news of an emotional nature. Positive, actually. Not negative stuff, but positive stuff.
And for that month, I received the Knight of Cups. Now, anytime you've got two cups, we have a tendency to kind of watch. And this is a progression. It's from the Page to the Knight. And the Knight is about unexpected, good, pleasant times with family, loved ones, different stuff. So I really think that even though you had this rough energy from the month before, to keep your hopes up, because the next month is going to get better. You're going to have some propositions of love for some of you. You're going to have harmonious relationships. You're going to have some surprises and unexpected good times with family and friends. So just keep the hope of this when you're going through this in April. Remember that May is going to be a good time for you when it comes to emotions. For June, Lucy received
the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is all about careful thought and contemplation. It's about withdrawal from the people around you so that you can do this and reflect and find your inner wisdom. It's realization that All the answers you need are inside you. Okay?
So for the month of June, I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles is very spendthrifty. She's wise. She isn't really emotional either. She's very much to the counterpart of the King of Swords, or I'm sorry, the King of Pentacles. Thinking about future plans and all that when it comes to with her goals. So if you combine the two, I really feel that this month is about taking the time to do your inner contemplation about your finances, to really take your time and plan your goals. Start looking toward the future. Just take this month to really plan, because I think that you're going to need it toward the end of the year. And this is going to not just be toward the end of the year. It's going to be for years to come. So take your time alone to do what you need to seek out what the answers that you need, and use them to your benefit so that you can plan the future for you and your loved ones. So for the month of July, Lucy received
the Hanging Man. Now, the Hanging Man is there, as you can see, by choice. He could easily free himself from this apparatus that he is hanging in. But he chooses to stay there because he's looking for a different angle, a different sight line on the situation that he is in, so that he can come up with a fresh perspective and an answer to his questions. He's looking to the future. It may indicate that you need to make a little bit of self-sacrifice, delay your gratification in whatever area, so that you can come up with this fresh perspective.
So for this month, I received the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, of course, Cups is an emotional suit, and emotions go up and down. But he is moved to the state of being where he is no longer pushed around by the tides of emotions. He is in control of the cups that he holds, and he doesn't let things push him around. He just doesn't go up and down with his emotions. He's able to control that. So if you kind of look at this, when you bring the two together, it's almost like a suspension when it comes to your emotional state and different people in your relationships for you. Now, the month before, this is kind of almost the same thing if you look at it. With the Hermit and the Queen of Pentacles, this is about your finances and your future goals and stuff. But this is more about your emotions and your relationships and stuff. So if you're contemplating a change, take your time to figure it out. Look at your pros and cons. Don't let emotions sway you to where you're being floated around and on a roller coaster ride. Go ahead and take this time that you need and undo yourself when you're ready to move forward in their relationships. So last month was all about finances and future goals. This month, however, I truly believe is about emotions and being able to plan for the future for them also. So for the month of August, Lucy received
the Ace of Pentacles, which is all about prosperity and material gain. Endeavors, your endeavors have good financial rewards for you. It's beautiful. It's backlit by the moon, and it's over a wonderful, beautiful green meadow. So it's a very positive card as far as your material.
And I think that going all the way back to June, where you were planning and taking the time, this is your new beginnings when it comes to your finances. And I think that because you took the time, you're going to start a beginning and start to reap the rewards. So for the month of August, I received the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a powerful, stubborn man. He obeys the laws. He studied long and hard to obtain this will and the strength of will. And he is just no nonsense. Doesn't put up with stuff. So if you put the two of these together, you're going to have to take a no-nonsense approach to your finances and to the new beginnings that are coming along. Follow the plans that you've made the months before back in June. Follow those plans and follow the law, follow the rules. Don't deviate from them. If you have an opportunity to get involved in a business deal that may seem a little risky, don't do it. Follow the rules. do what you're supposed to and take a no-nonsense approach to this. And this is going to go well for you if you do. I truly believe that. Because of all the planning that you did, this is going to be able to carry you through. Just don't do anything that would be
silly.
Yeah. And follow the rules, follow the law in the month of August. So the month of September, Lucy received
a judgment card. Okay, this card is considered the karmic card. It's a card that says, as you sow, so shall you reap. So your efforts are now bringing rewards, renewal, dormant matters, that can mean that too. It's also, you can make a new start. Take stock before doing that, however. Look at every angle before you march down that new road, okay?
So it's kind of funny because this is the Eight of Cups that I pulled for you guys. Now, the Eight of Cups talks about walking away from situations, emotional situations that no longer serve you. It's making a choice to continue on your journey with or without the people and relationships that no longer work for you. And if you put it with judgment, it gives you an opportunity to have a new beginning and to start it fresh and to sow new things so that you can reap the benefits of it in the long run. Because if you're sowing bad situations, unhealthy relationships, that's what you're going to get in the end. And it's just going to cause a lot of turmoil. So make your choices. Think about it, especially when it comes to emotional. Sometimes it's okay to say no to people. It really is. And it's not mean, but it's, if you don't stand up for yourself, who is? You need to keep that in mind. So remember that whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So make up your mind what you're going to be doing for yourself this month, in the month of September. So for October, Lucy received
the Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords is very supportive. She can see by the light above her and the light on her forehead there, it's all about clarity of thought with her. She's a straightforward, no nonsense kind of person, inner strength, and like I said before, wisdom and clarity of thought. She also has a strong sense of fair play. So you stay true to yourself here. You use your wisdom, your clarity of mind to make your decisions that you need to make that month.
So she's the counterpart to the King, of course. The King is very no-nonsense approach that you had him back in August. So for this month, for October, I pulled the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is kind of an aloof card where you're bored, you're apathetic. You see these cups here and you're kind of like, meh, and you don't even see the one that's up in the clouds being offered to you. And if you put the two of these together, because of the fact that she can be kind of aloof and more no nonsense when it comes to emotions, I would just really be aware that there are going to be times where you're going to need to temper this energy and let yourself be a little fanciful to see the cup that's being offered to you. Don't let your nonchalance or your boredom rule you to where you can't see what's being offered you. And, you know, you're dealing with opposites here. You're dealing with logic and reason, and you're dealing with emotions. But
strength, inner strength also there.
Yeah. So use your inner strength to see the things that are being offered to you. Don't let your aloofness make it so you don't notice the emotional stuff that's going on around you. Okay. So for the month of November, Lucy received
the Eight of Wands. Now this is a swift moving energy, activity and excitement after arrival of good news. It can represent travel too. As you can see, the wands are moving over a very fertile valley. So it is a good card, a positive card.
So this month is one of those months, again, that we need you to see the sign. For this month, I got the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands is an ambitious type of a person. He is a leader. He moves forward. He's not as unemotional and detached and his law as the King of Swords is, but he's still ambitious and he can have an ego at times. So you need to not make any decisions in haste. Now, you've got a lot of energy with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands can make you feel like you need to move fast. but it's saying not to be hasty. And then, so just kind of keep that in mind. You're going to have a lot of swift moving energy this month. Good stuff going on. This is ambition. This is plans coming to fruition. And then I really think that for somebody, she's going to travel and she's going to meet a King of Wands, which I think is kind of funny because of the way that it kind of segues in. So if you're traveling and you meet your King of Wands, please post and let us know. You're going to have to write this down. This is, again, for the month of November, so keep that in mind. But this, again, is one of those months that we need you to really watch because you've got quite a bit of symbolism here going on. Like, just like you did back in April when you had, you know, the 2 swords. And then, of course, in the month of June, you had both the Hermit and the Queen of Pentacles, which is taking the time to do your finances. And then in the month of July, the Hanging Man and the King of Cups. So you guys got a lot of symbolism here and a lot of signs that you need to see. So for the month of December, Lucy pulled
the Four of Wands. Now the Four of Wands is about stability, as you can see. They're in a fertile field. The wands are planted firmly around them. It's about triumph and celebration, contentment with yourself and with your life. It's a feel-good factor. There we go. Yeah, very positive card again.
So for the month of December, I pulled the 2 of Swords. Now that looks kind of daunting, but it actually isn't. It really talks about inner strength, inner balancing. It's almost like a camaraderie in arms for some people, being logical, making choices, and tension. Sometimes it could be tension, it can be indecision, but this is the last month of the year. You guys have a lot of things going on this month, and you've had a lot of decisions that you've needed to make this month, of this year. Future plans, emotions,
paths,
judgment with what you're reaping, what you sow. So this, in a way, can be a good contemplation. It can be a chance for you to really sit down again and evaluate all the things that have happened to you this year so that you go into the new year with a good energy. Now, when you bring these 2 together, 4 of Wands can actually also be about a marriage. And I think there's going to be a decision for some of you. There's going to be a decision that you're going to decide whether or not you're going to go with a relationship or career. And if they do go with a relationship, there's could be marriage in the works. So, again, this being a general read, it's kind of hard to tell, but
it is about stability. So,
right.
And stability can be about any situation, any relationship, work, home, social, you know, any relationship that you have.
Exactly. So we pulled the Oracle card for you guys, and I've kind of already recapped a little bit. Is there anything that you can think of that we need to talk about other than what we have? Okay. So the card we received for you guys is Know That You Belong. You have a place and you have a purpose. You are special. Not window liquor special bus special, but you are special. Okay? Please don't take that wrong. That's kind of what we say to each other sometimes. Do not change who you are just so others might accept you. Do not dishonor your truths by allowing someone else to tell you who you must be. Change made just so you fit the expectations or social criteria of a clique or group does not honor you. You do not need to change in order to belong. You are a blessed child of God and the Great Spirit and belong simply because you are. And you have a lot of decisions this year that you're going to make. But know that you belong, that you have a plan and purpose. Even when people come against you, even when you need to make decisions of love and relationships or career, you got a lot of good things going for you all. So know that you belong and that you do have a plan and a purpose. So Aries, kind of an interesting read. We when we were doing this, we found about 3 or 4 different reads that we were kind of seeing through this. So again, being a general read, you just have to kind of see what resonates with you. But if you did like what you heard, go ahead and hit the like button. Leave us a comment. We want to know what's going on. I know a lot of people say that, but we actually mean it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been talking to quite a few people, and we like to know what's going on. So feel free to do that too. Have a wonderful year. I think this is going to be really good for you guys. A lot of personal growth. But in the meantime, you need to walk in peace, light, and love. And Lucy and I will see you in January.
Mm-hmm.
Take care.